Hey, everybody. It is all over in Minnesota. The Kings open up their 5-game road trip with a bad fourth quarter. They were right there. I mean, everything was going well. I thought they were playing well. I liked what I saw. And then the fourth quarter began, and they were outscored 32-19, and they lose 124-110. Welcome to the postgame show. Grant Napier, Ryan and Sacktown, Jerry Reynolds. Jerry, let's get your thoughts. The game just ended. What do you think?
Well, for three quarters, as you said, I thought the Kings really played a good ball game. I thought they got terrific performances from several guys. Domas Schroeder was terrific in the first half, and of course Russ, I thought had a 27-year-old Russ Westbrook kind of game. But in the fourth, sloppy, missed free throws,
Yep.
and couldn't make shots. And I really thought they got pretty good shots. And it was just a case of, I thought as much as anything, just not taking care of the ball when you really needed to.
Jerry, despite the 6 turnovers from Russell Westbrook, was that more of the point guard Domantas Sabonis was talking about in exit interviews?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's really what this team needed because to Russ's credit, I mean, a couple of those turnovers you'd like to have back, but I mean, the ball was moving. I thought they had good ball movement, good spacing, and Russ really, I think we all know. I mean, he really is just out there playing. He's not looking for numbers, and I think that really, I think it makes the team better.
What does not make the team better is Demar De Rozan playing the way he's been playing. He has not been good, and I got to really think that you've got to consider taking him out of the starting lineup. That's number one. And I understand. We keep on talking about what the goal of this season is, and I don't really know what the goal of this season is because I think it may be different from Doug's perspective as maybe from the owner's perspective. I mean, Doug wants to win. I understand that. We talk about the development of young players. I mean, Nick Clifford only played 7 minutes tonight, and I'm not blaming the loss on that, but I mean, I just wonder at what point are we going to see more of Nick Clifford? Is 7 minutes enough? I don't think so. What do you think, guys?
Well, I've always said I think you got to figure out a way, and I know it's not easy,
right,
with so many older veterans. But you got to get him 20 minutes a game.
At least
you've got a lot tied up in him. You moved up in the draft to get him. Certainly, he looks like a good young player. I think he and Ellis both need to play more, which means somebody else needs to play less.
34 minutes. Yeah, 34 minutes is too much for DeMar DeRozan, especially in a game like this where the team's getting up and down the court. They're playing well. It almost felt like when the ball came to DeRozan, he didn't feel like he was going to get back, so he tried to get to his spots and take shots. I just wonder if the evolution of this lineup might be coming with Keegan Murray once he gets back going to the 3 and DeMar going to the bench. Jared?
Well, it makes the most sense, to be honest. It always has. I mean, and really makes your bench better, differently, because I mean, I think you really got to get better defenders on the floor, more length on the floor, and quite honestly, more youth on the floor.
Right.
I mean, you've just simply got to find Keegan's part of the future, Nick Clifford's part of the future. You hope Keon Ellis is. I mean, certainly age-wise, he should be. And so those guys, I just think you have to. I mean, it means some of the older veterans get less minutes, and that includes Russ or whoever.
Yeah, Jerry, how disheartening is this game tonight? And for this reason, you just came off one of the worst homestands ever. It was certainly the worst homestand of any King that's on the roster. You had the coach give you a tongue lashing after the game. And then you come out with the vigor in the fight and the play that we've all been wanting to see this season. We've seen it at Spurs. And you're on the road and you're playing against a good team. And the fourth quarter starts and it's a 1-point game. And then you look at the score and you lose by 14. And you get back on the bus to go to the airport tonight. And you can't be having good thoughts in your mind, right? I just wonder, the mindset of this team's got to be very fragile right now.
Well, I think it is. I would agree with you because, I mean, they certainly played well 3 quarters, but these guys know, like any player or coach or even fan, as fans, we know that the key is playing well in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And in crunch time, and I thought that there again in crunch time, obviously they missed good shots, but they also didn't get as many good shots. And like I say, that's when you need to make your free throws in the fourth quarter and take care of the ball. I mean, teams that do that put themselves in a position, they probably still wouldn't have won maybe the game, but you'd have had a 4 or 5 point game.
Yeah, you'd have a legitimate chance.
Yes.
Ryno?
Go ahead, Jerry, finish.
No, to me, that was it. I mean, I think as the players and coaches, you'd feel so much better. Nobody likes to lose, but you'd say, we were there, had a chance to win. Well, as it turned out, you really didn't have a chance to win the last 6 minutes.
Yeah, look, both teams did not shoot the free throws very well. 59.3% for the Kings, 70% for the Wolves. But in the fourth quarter, I look at how Coach Christie adjusted his minutes to who was in the flow, who he liked. Heck, Malik Monk only played 15 tonight, guys. He had no points. But as I look at DeMar DeRozan's line, plays almost 10 minutes in the fourth quarter. He only gets you 1 rebound and 1 personal foul.
He was terrible.
And so I'm not sure why that's not being applied across the board. And I respect the heck out of DeMar DeRozan, Jerry, but some nights you have it, Grant, and some nights you don't.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. You got to yank him off the floor. And he didn't have a good homestand either. So, yeah, that doesn't add up. Jerry, if I can ask you to be more specific, because this season there have been a lot of bad fourth quarters. I mean, you were right there with Denver the other night. You had a bad fourth quarter. And I understand they're a better team. I get all of that. Are you seeing the same thing for the most part in these fourth quarter breakdowns, or has it been different in your mind from game to game, or is there a common theme here?
I think there's a bit of a common theme. I think most teams in the fourth quarter, they really have some more go-to things, whether it's play sets or certainly 2-man games, 3-man games, with their best players in certain situations. And I think the Kings really don't seem to change how they play. In other words, they're playing the fourth quarter, final 6 minutes like they play in the first 6 minutes. And it's a different game. I've always said, the free-flowing game is never as free-flowing in the last 6 minutes when the defensive pressure gets harder. Officials let more stuff go, shots get contested more, all that. So I think if I were to give an opinion, come up with a little more structure in your offense in the fourth quarter. Make sure you have 3 or 4 things that you feel like you can do. And you might add a couple things that you see during the first 3 quarters, that have been working and go to them more.
And Jerry, doesn't that show in the turnovers? The Kings only had 8 in the first half for 11 points given up. And in the fourth quarter, they had 5 for 11 points given up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're talking about. I mean, to Minnesota's credit, their defense picked up. They got a little more active. Well, you knew they would. You knew they would. They're at home. They're long and athletic, but some of those were just unforced. It had nothing to do with Minnesota's defense. But I thought just by maybe not being as clear in what you wanted to try to do offensively.
Schroeder looked good coming off the bench tonight in 28 minutes. I thought he was good. Keon Ellis played 22 minutes. I would like to see that number go up when he's playing well. The points allowed, again, we have to talk about that. I mean, it's very hard to win in the NBA, particularly on the road, giving up 124. It just is. You're not going to win a lot of games that way. And, this is like a broken record, but it's got to get fixed.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because like you said, Schroeder had best game of the year. Domas had by far his best game of the year, Russ. So you had some good performances, but at the end of it, it was defense that let you down again. You got 124 points scored. Yeah, and a lot of it was on kind of broken play situations. I thought those 2 threes that DiVincenzo hit there, in about the 6-minute mark, kind of spread the teams out at that point.
Yeah, I want to add this in too, because if it's not going to be the defense that brings the points allowed down, they've got to take more threes, guys. Only 33 triples, and they're shooting it at a decent percent, 36.4%. If you're going to have to beat the team scoring wise, you got to have more triples into your game, Jer.
Well, you do, and you also got to be able to get the line a little more. Now in effect, they got there pretty good tonight. But in other words, if you're not going to shoot threes, you need to get fouled on a lot of your twos. And I mean, it
Yeah.
kind of makes up the gap. And to Minnesota's credit and to King's discredit a little bit is it's how you defend the three.
Yeah.
You know, defend without fouling. I mean, all you really want to do is make sure you got a body in the area and challenge a shot without fouling. But I think, you know, all teams make some mistakes, but I still think that's probably an area where they'd like to and need to get better.
I think the frustrating thing for me about tonight, and I saw a lot of positives, and based on what we just saw in the homestand, I'm looking for any positives to hang my hat on. But I think the frustrating thing for me tonight, and I think a lot of Kings fans, is winning games and having opportunities to win games this year have been few and far between. And if you had told me that it would be a 1-point game on the road tonight in Minnesota going into the fourth quarter, I would have taken that before the game began. And they had it right there, and then they just fall apart for whatever reason in the fourth quarter. And again, that to me is the most frustrating thing, because you can say all you want about, gee, you're going to tank, you're going to look for, you know, the hell with that. You know, you play to win the freaking game, and you had a chance to be right there. And then, you know, we're on the postgame show talking about a game that was really over with 5 minutes left to go in a quarter. The game was over. I mean, you didn't even make it to the 5-minute mark. And to me, that's very frustrating, Ryan.
Yeah, it is, Grant. And that's where some of the younger guys come in. Those are those experiences where you don't know how they're going to react if they're not in the situation. If you look at the point guard position, basically 60 minutes. In fact, exactly 60 minutes tied up between Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook. And I'm not saying Nick Clifford's going to do well there, but you can play with the rotations, Jerry. I mean, heck, Zach LaVine was playing power forward at one point in the second half. And I'd like to see a little bit more of that unit that brings this team back, get some more run in the fourth quarter.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you there, Ryan. I mean, like I've said, I mean, you've only got 240 minutes and they've got to be distributed. It doesn't mean that you have to give guys 35 minutes just because they used to get 35 minutes. That's really about all I'd say to it. I mean, and that probably has to change. And like I say, find Nick minutes, find Keon Ellis more minutes. I just think that's those are the two things that strike me, and maybe get a little more structure in your offense late in games.
Jerry, nice shirt. Jerry, nice shirt. What year is that from?
You know, I don't know.
Well, it says so right on it.
Well, I can't read. Oh, it does, doesn't it? 2018.
Okay, good. You know, you don't know.
Well, I don't read well upside down.
I understand. You don't read well even if it's in the right side up. But the reality is,
all I know is it was free, and I love free.
I love it. My golf tournament shirt. Okay, so now you have 4 games left on this trip, and you get to get reunited with De'Aaron Fox coming up on Sunday, and a guy by the name of Victor Wembanyama, who looks pretty good to me, guys.
Well, I mean, he's showing you now what we all thought he would be, and I mean, and I think more importantly, it looks like he's leading teams to wins.
Yeah.
You know, in other words, and you can't be a franchise great player if you don't win. And so this is his year. I mean, this is a team, and I think San Antonio's a real threat in the West. Not necessarily win it, but if you're Denver and Oklahoma City, you're looking at these guys.
So, Jerry, are we putting Keon Ellis on top of Russell Westbrook's shoulders? Should it be Nick Clifford? How should we do that on Sunday?
That's a great question. I'd say I don't have an answer, and my guess is nobody in the NBA has one. So I think it's one of those things you hope he settles for a lot of perimeter shots and doesn't make them. How's that?
Yeah, Jerry, some final thoughts as we say have a good weekend to you. Your final thoughts on this one?
Well, I was just so pleased to see him come out and really play hard, and see Domas really look like Domas of old and all. It was great for 3 quarters. And so, you know, we just got to hope that the fourth quarter now starts looking a little bit more like that. And then I think we can feel good. But you know, when you play poorly in the fourth, it takes away a lot of the good in the first 3.
Yeah, sure does. Jerry, have a great weekend. Thank you.
Will. See you guys.
See you. Have a good one.
Good stuff from Jerry Reynolds. And we will open it up to phone calls right now. We want to hear from you. Ryno's put the link up in the chat. You got the QR code as well. We got the Lone Star State checking in. Jeff from Texas. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
What's up, Jeff?
All right, I have a few things. Would you agree with me that Keon Ellis and Devin Carter are maybe the two active players we have that the best defenders?
Devin Carter and Keon Ellis, yes. Without Keegan Murray in the lineup, yes.
Correct. Then why is there a reason why he didn't get any run tonight, Devin Carter?
Yeah, he's very limited offensively right now, and I think that's his problem. I mean, he's very limited offensively, and until that part of the game gets better, I don't think he's going to be on the court. And that truly is a numbers game with Devin Carter. I mean, you can't play everybody.
I think the offensive side of the ball seems like it can be a little too fast for him at times.
Gotcha. One more thing. I kind of hate it, tongue-in-cheek, that when Russell Westbrook has a good game, because, like, it's hard to be excited because he's not going to be our future. And the guy that we signed, I know it's only one game, but is now coming off the bench. And it's like we needed a lot over the offseason, but we really needed one thing, and that was a point guard. And then now I seem like it's all messed up, and the roster makes no sense to me. And they played good for 3 quarters, but you don't win playing 3 quarters. So it's just frustrating.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. In my opinion, I like the 48-minute distribution at the point guard position tonight. If you could get that every night, I would sign up for that right now.
Yeah. 31 and 28.
No, but I mean the numbers and how they played.
Oh, yeah. The distribution.
I'm not talking about the minutes played. I'm talking about their total in the 48 minutes that were distributed between 2 point guards. I like that production.
Yeah, 100%. I'm completely with you there.
I'll take that every night, Yep. So tonight, that's not an issue. I mean, it really isn't. Hey, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just think when one starts to cool off and you're getting down the stretch of a game, that's where Doug's going to have the oomph to maybe make a change.
Yeah. So. Hey, don't forget about New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you, whether it's water heaters, water line repair, sewer repair, water filtration, gas lines, 916-73-1010 or newworksplumbing.com. They've got a fix for you. And again, they are available around the clock 24/7 for your plumbing needs and repairs. Newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRX plumbing.com. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. You want to get to Phoenix?
Yeah.
Check in with our man. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Doing great, man. I just finished doing a water heater this afternoon, so I couldn't wait to hop on. You did me right, Grant. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What don't you do, man? Holy crap.
That I wanted to talk to you about from just seeing how disgruntled players are, seeing how this season went on and what we're at right now. Just from your experience, what does it look like when we're showcasing a player that we're about to trade? Like, can you pick up that, Grant, to see like, okay, yeah, we're showcasing him a lot because we're trading him? Like, do you feel like we're doing that with DeMar De Rozan by him getting these extra minutes? No,
you don't need to showcase DeMar De Rozan. Everybody in the league already knows what he can do. There's no mystery on DeMar De Rozan. So, no, I don't think they're showcasing him at all. If you look at his tenure with Sacramento, this is how many minutes he's been playing every night since he came over.
Correct. So what does it look like, Grant, when we are showcasing a player that we want to trade? Like it seems like those rumors about Domas and Mike Brown and Doug Christie, it seems like the next day he plays hard, right? So I'm trying to see how can that correlate? Are we trying to, is Domas playing hard?
I'll tell you this, Domas always plays hard. He's been very limited because of certain injuries. But again, NBA scouts and NBA personnel, there are certain players in the league that you don't really have to look at to be showcased. You don't need to showcase Sabonis. Everybody in the league already knows what he can do. Same thing with DeRozan. So like in this particular instance, I wouldn't read too much into the minutes they're playing. That's how much they play every night. And Doug's been playing them that many minutes ever since he took over for Mike Brown. So I don't really see a difference right now.
Last one. Have you ever had an experience where you thought that we were showcasing a player?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Could you give us that so that way us fans can know what that looks like in the future?
Sure. I think it's a very good question right now. As far as this team goes, I don't think that is happening. But yeah, I mean, I will let you know in the future if I think they're showcasing a player. And I think it's generally, believe it or not, more of a player like Keon Ellis than it would be for a player like DeMar De Rozan. That to me generally is to happen because everyone in the league already knows about the consistency of DeMar De Rozan. They already know what he can do. And there's a pretty good book on Keon now. He's played long enough. But you if you're thinking about trading for Keon Ellis, what you're looking for, I think, right now is a little more consistency in his game offensively. So if you're Sacramento, and again, I'm not saying they're trying to move Keon. I'm using this as an example. You might see his minutes go up by 5 or 8 a game, and they're giving everyone else in the league a really good look to see where he's at. Those things do happen. Yes, it does happen.
Rab, you want a great example of showcasing? Go back last season and watch the Wizards at the Golden One Center against the Kings and look at Valanciunas. The Wizards were showcasing Valanciunas.
When he was having that game looking like he was Shaq. Okay.
That's a great point. That's exactly what they were doing. Very good point.
That's good. Well, I appreciate the time. I'll see you guys next post game. You guys have a great night.
You have a good weekend, all right? You take care of yourself. The bottom line is, they're veterans. You don't really have to showcase. I mean, Valanciunas is a good example. I would agree with that. But as far as like DeMar DeRozan, there's only a few teams in the league that are going to go after DeMar DeRozan. They already know what he can do.
In fact, they would probably rather have him healthy and on rested legs for the most part, as long as he's staying in shape.
Yep. Very true.
All right. You want to keep him rolling?
Yeah, go ahead. You pick.
Let's go. Andre, thanks for calling us tonight.
Hey, what's up, Graham? What's up, Ryan?
Hey there.
Yeah, so it's just frustrating starting from Doug Christie's rotations to the ownership of Vivek Ranadive. Everything is a joke with this team, and what's the future going forward? We don't even know the future. They don't let us know the future. And I just hope Scott Perry can rebuild this team confidently. And
I don't have a lot of confidence in that happening, to be honest with you, but I'm going to give him 2 years.
Yeah, and one last thing, do you think Vivek Ranadive would never sell the team during his ownership?
Never's a long time. I wouldn't say never, but I don't see it in the foreseeable future.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Grant. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Andre.
Hey, take care.
Yeah, thanks.
I mean, I know that's what Kings fans want, but I mean, you got to be realistic about it. And right now, I don't see that. Boy, I could use a nice prime New York at Bennett's right now. Prime seafood and steaks.
It's only $7.56.
Yeah, I would love it. Whether it is Sacramento, Roseville, or the West Side Grill in Rockland. Get down there tomorrow and Sunday for the weekend brunch. You go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You make a reservation. That's Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Again, prime seafood and steaks at Bennett's, Bennett'sRestaurants.com. And maybe we'll see you down there real soon. Kings lose tonight. They have a really bad fourth quarter. They're outscored 32-19, and they have 4 games left on this road trip. Next up Sunday, an afternoon game in San Antonio.
Let's go to our Cena Tom Brady man. Mike, what's up, dude?
I don't know. Can they see me? I don't know. Can you guys see me?
Yeah,
no.
Go ahead.
See you in the living room.
Oh, awesome. Now can you?
It went away. We'll try to get Mike back.
Says Grant Napier hates the Kings owner. No, I don't hate the Kings owner. That's completely inaccurate. Mike. I just think he's a bad owner. I don't hate him.
All right, let's see if we can get Mike back. Mike?
Yeah. How's it going, guys?
Hey, Mike.
Good.
All right. Can you see me?
Yep. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to know, what's going on with the Kings. It seems like we got our butt kicked against the Hawks, and I work downtown, and I wasn't able to watch the game because I was at work. So then at halftime, I'm like, what the heck? The game's over? People were filing out of that bad boy so bad and so quick. I was like, what the heck is going on?
It was embarrassing.
And, we looked up at the TV at the restaurant, and then my buddy's like, it's empty. I was like, this is all bad. This is terrible. But the reason I'm calling is I want to know why players, not just the Kings, but in the Hawks game, you had players are out, like Zach LaVine, no Monk. Well, what the heck are you guys doing?
Well, they're hurt. They were hurt.
Are you taking the day off?
No, they're not taking the day off. They were legitimately hurt. I mean, guys do get hurt in sports, okay? And Malik had an ankle. He couldn't play. He wanted to play. He was hoping to play, but he couldn't play. You don't want to have a guy out there at 70% if he's going to hurt the team. I mean, guys get hurt. It's part of the game. They weren't resting those guys.
Okay, then I didn't know that. But needless to say, they took the night off on the court anyway.
Yes, they did. The whole team did, for the most part, with the exception of maybe 3 guys.
So tonight I was able to watch the game till halftime. I had to run my own practice for good old Galt 7th and 8th grade rec. So I was like,
Nice.
okay, kids, good practice. Now let me check my phone. We're going to find out if coach is going to be happy or not. Oh, man, they lost. But I'll
Yeah.
tell you, Grant, I just feel bad for the Kings. I don't know what they're doing. Apparently, De Rozan didn't play that well tonight.
No.
I like the effort at halftime, and I guess it's hard to keep it up for two halves for the Kings.
Well, it shouldn't be. I mean, that's your job. I mean, but hey, Mike, thanks for calling. You have a great weekend. We appreciate you checking in. I would have left the game early too the other night if I were at the game. I wouldn't have stayed. I wouldn't have stayed for that whole game against the Atlanta Hawks. No way. I wouldn't have.
So I've gotten to know a couple of the ushers pretty good.
Great
Some of them
people.
long time ushers and even a scoresman or somebody that did the score.
Tell
for
them I said
41
hello,
years.
please. I miss those people, but go ahead.
I will do that. And some of them keep track of the different sections and what's missing. And I not taking any information from them, but just for me the other night, there were full sections in the, not sections, but rows of seats in the lower bowl where there was nobody. And in some of those, they weren't necessarily completely empty, but there was a lot that were empty. And they put the NBA, notice on the seats. Never came because that notice was still sitting there, and those are good tickets. Those are tickets the Kings are trying to sell privately on Ticketmaster, and they're not selling. So
not only are they not selling, I've had a number of people that I know personally, not people I don't know, that are season ticket holders that have premium seats that told me they're not going anymore, and that if and it's going to cost them a lot of money. I have one individual who's spending $2,000 a game, and he said he's not going to any more games this year. Now, think about that. You're not going to get $2,000 for your tickets unless maybe Steph Curry's in town or LeBron's in town. That's not happening. So he's willing to just say, you know what, I'm done. And he told me he's not renewing his tickets after this year, whereas when his contract's up.
Well, that's something the Kings are going to have to think about because that notice starts going out about midway through the season. And if you're not seeing the Rooks play, if you're not seeing a completely different team, where the veterans are playing, I'll be interested to see how many people re-up.
It's not going to be pleasant if this continues. I can tell you that. It is not going to be pleasant. And I get that. I understand. You know what? There's a difference between losing and losing with, some pride. And there were too many times on a homestand we didn't see that.
Yeah, for sure. Not going to go there. Let's go to Serbia. Baki, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Good. What's happening?
How are you?
Well, I'm confused, big time. I would like to say something about offense and also coaching things that we are seeing like over and over and over again. Okay, Katie is maybe sometimes during the live calls a big time subjective, but okay, never mind. But one thing she said well, and she said it almost every game from the beginning of the season, and that is the players are missing open and great shots very often. Ryno, you said one of the problems with winning the game needing more threes on your count. I mean, how to get to that point if you miss that much open shot?
Players don't miss shots on purpose. I mean, players don't miss shots on purpose. They're missing shots. What are you going to do about it?
And Baki, a lot of the shots I'm talking about are open threes that the players end up driving, and an open three, which is a good shot, turns into a turnover because they try to make a pass in the phone booth.
Yep, but the statistics for that part is not something we can like or not. It's not that hidden statistic which can hide the real thing. That much shooting problems in critical moments is just showing us there is something very problematic in self-confidence of these players. I don't know why, but I've got to the point where whenever it's very important to hit the shot that can turn the game around or can put the team a small points behind, it never happened. And okay, we can talk about it. And but I'm gonna get to second thing. I'm gonna be fast. It's something I noticed. I noticed with Doug Christie. He's letting the team. Uh, he's letting the team fail very quickly without pulling those timeouts on time. I mean, you can't just have that much run they make. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna catch and I'm gonna be boring with this statistic. But if you get Kings that much runs from opponents, I don't recall I saw from other teams, because whenever I think he should make those timeouts a bit quicker, so maybe the team will not drop into always 7 or 9 or 10 or maybe 13, 14 runs from the, and they crash the game like that. Very often happening, those runs from the teams we are playing with.
Anything else, buddy, before we say have a good weekend?
Not too much. I hope we can find something that will turn this up, but maybe for the game or two. But we need something bigger than that.
Thanks, buddy. You have a good
Thanks,
weekend,
Bob.
all right? You take care. Thank you very much. It's always good to hear from you. Before we move on, I want to tell you about DAS Mechanical when it comes to heating and air. They're awesome. Their 5-star reviews and their numerous best of the best awards will tell you everything you need to know about DAS Mechanical, family owned and operated. They are HVAC retrofit and service specialist. That's what they do. And they've been doing it for a long time, and they are great. All right. I'm going to put the website out. You can book everything online, and you can ask them any question you may have at dasmechanical.org, and take advantage of a special they have going on right now until the end of this month. It's awesome. Only $69 for a winter maintenance checkup. All right. So you're good to go for these winter months. They do it all. Again, their 5-star reviews, their awards. They're great. I know Nick Delancey, their owner. It's easy to me to sit down with him and now understand why his business has won so many awards. I get it. They do things the right way. DAS serving Sacramento and Placer counties. Go to dasmechanical.org, dasmechanical.org. That's DAS Mechanical for your heating and air needs.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Ryan Santos, what's going on?
Hey, Grant. Hey, Ryan.
What's up, man?
I got a question. I want to preface that I don't know basketball strategy. I only watch just a bunch of our games, but I always have a bad feeling whenever I see Sabonis starting in the fourth. I know he was the best player on the Kings, but you fall into the problem of finding time for him to rest in between Minnesota, bringing in their star players. And I know we have a good second unit, so I don't know why we don't start it. And plus, I thought Neek did great, but I'm looking at his box score, and he kind of wasn't there.
7 minutes.
7 minutes.
It's not enough.
But
Jerry
for
said
some
he's going
reason,
to be playing.
it felt
Jerry
like
thinks he should be
20
playing at
minutes.
least 20 minutes a game.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, I went too far. Back to the question: how do you guys feel about Sabonis starting fourth quarters? With, he's not. Is he going to play all 12 minutes or?
I thought
Yeah,
he was
that
having
was
a
my
great
question.
game. I have no problem with him
Mm.
starting the fourth quarter.
And he did play all 12. Ryan, he did play
Yeah,
all 12 minutes in the fourth.
That's too much. That's too much.
It's a good
Okay,
point,
yeah.
Ryan, actually. It's a very good point.
Yeah, too much.
Hey, thanks for calling us.
Alrighty.
Call us again,
Thanks.
okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he shouldn't be playing all 12 minutes in
All
the
right.
fourth. So
He's-
whether you
yep.
sit him down at the beginning of the fourth for a couple of minutes in, I mean, it's too much for him, especially with where he's at in terms of his injuries and what he's dealing with. And it's too much for me. It's too much.
Okay, Grant, you know my radar. I'm going to let you decide this. Are we going to tater or not?
All right, I will handle this call, okay?
All right.
All right, Tater, go ahead. You're on with Grant and Ryno.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good. How are you tonight?
Doing great. One question for you, simple. By Christmas time, what do you expect our starting lineup to look like? What's your
Fabulous
expectation?
question.
What?
It's a great question. I would
Hey,
say,
thank you.
Can I speed it up for you? Can you switch and take Christmas out and put Thanksgiving in there?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. So by Thanksgiving, I expect the starting lineup to be Keegan Murray with Domantas Sabonis. Precious Achiuwa is not a starting power forward, in my opinion, and he's just not. The backcourt of Russell Westbrook and Zach LaVine, and a player that I have not named currently that will be playing on the front line. I think you got to move Keegan to small forward with Domas. And even if you start Drew Eubanks, I'm fine with that. But that's what I would do.
Okay. So
I
a
would
little
start-
bigger.
I
Sorry,
would
go
start
ahead.
Precious, Tater.
He's just
And
not a starting player in the league.
but
He's just
Grant-
not. He's a role player.
Grant, I get it, but you can only work with what you got, and he has size. He's
Yeah.
athletic for the most part.
I mean, I
He's
thought he showed the most effort tonight.
No, I don't have a problem with his effort. All right, so let me ask you the question because I think it was a very good question. What do you think the starting lineup will be, and how? Let's assume that Keegan Murray's back by Thanksgiving, so let's include him. What do you think it would look like?
Okay. Well, I think we have like 9 point guards, 9 shooting guards. So
yeah,
so not an easy question, but I think we need to make some moves because there's too many players that you can't sit. But shoot, I don't know. I'll say Dennis Schroeder, Monk, Keegan, Precious, Domas.
okay. So you would not start Zach LaVine, correct? And,
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right.
okay, no problem.
Zach LaVine at the 3 and Keegan 4, Domas 5.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the call. You have a great weekend. Appreciate that.
Tater
I do know
proved me
this. Once
wrong.
again, the starters were down 11 points tonight with a couple of minutes gone by in the first quarter.
There's going to be another evolution to it.
You got to take DeRozan out of the starting lineup right now, in my
Mhm.
opinion.
Yep. Pains
Right?
me to say that.
You can't make Dennis Schroeder to be the scapegoat all by himself. That's not right.
No. Again, I didn't think they would do both moves at one time. I thought it would start with one, and they did. But I think that's where you're headed, in the right time to do it is when Keegan probably comes back. Would you disagree?
No, I'm okay with doing anything right now. This message that I'm seeing over and over. Yeah, we know you need rim protection. Okay, they don't grow on trees. What are you going to do about it?
Is that Progressive or Athena? Years
It's
of
the same
saying
thing. It's
it.
like 100 texts of the same thing. I understand they can't stop anything inside. We all know that. Why don't you tell us something that we don't know? We all know that they need rim protection. We get that. We understand you're frustrated. I understand the frustration, but come up with something different, would you please? Everyone knows that.
You did have rim protection, and you traded it away for $1.5 million and
Thank you.
Sharich.
Thank you. Another
Gunther.
terrible decision by Scott Perry. Just terrible.
That was not a good decision.
That
Gunther,
was
what's
horrible.
Hey guys, yeah. So I know you guys were talking about DeRozan not doing well, and yeah, it'd be nice for Ellis to get in there. I mean, hopefully they can. Hopefully Doug Christie can, have the courage to actually talk to DeRozan about this and get that going. And also, I just wanted to kind of find out about just your guys' opinion about Sabonis. Like, as far as the trade market goes, like, what's the bare minimum that the Kings should accept for Sabonis? What do you guys think?
It's a great question.
Yeah,
Napes?
I don't have the answer. Ryan, do you even want to attempt to answer that? Because I don't have an answer.
I don't. I've got to think about it. Grant and I see Sabonis's value a little bit differently, but he is kind of at the top of the list of what you're starting to hear rumors about. So I need to probably change my tune. But
if I'm a good team, if I'm a good team, Domantas Sabonis is going to make my team a lot better. If I'm a good team, Domantas Sabonis is going to be somebody that elevates my team to a top tier team in the NBA.
Correct. I am with you there. And it's got to be a team that has homegrown stars or homegrown 1s and 2s, so their payrolls aren't going against the cap.
Correct.
Or their overages are not going against the cap. So yeah, interesting.
Okay.
We'll put our heads together and see what we come up with.
Okay. And so also, I just wanted to ask you guys about Doug Christie. I think Doug or Grant mentioned this last time maybe, but the way he talks, I mean, it's just I feel like he gets used to talking to his players in the locker room or maybe in practice, and he just the way he talks, it's like using ebonics, for example. I feel like maybe that could be avoided during press conferences. When talking to the media, maybe it's like a more professional kind of setting, right? So I mean, is that something that did you guys notice that too? Because I remember listening to Grant's radio show, and it just never was like that. The way he spoke, it was I felt like it was more eloquent, and just the delivery was better. I mean, is that something that maybe maybe that's just not
it's not a good look in my opinion. It's
not
not a good
required.
look. It's not a good look in my opinion. I'm not going to make a mountain out of a molehill out of it. I mentioned it on my radio show on Fox Sports Sacramento yesterday because I had gotten a couple of text messages on our chat line about it. And I don't think it's a good look when you're the head coach of a team and you have a lot of youth watching and everything else. I don't mind the swearing occasionally because that's part of being a human being, although I'm not crazy about it from his perspective, but that didn't bother me. But the grammar, the street dialect, if I can use that term, I'm not a fan of it for a coach. It's just not appropriate, in my opinion.
Okay. And what do you think, Ryan?
Look, if it's who Doug is, it's who Doug is. That's simply how I feel. I have not spent enough time around Doug to judge whether that's how he talks outside of the court, how he talks with his family. So if it's who he is, I embrace it.
I've spent more time with Doug than anybody else on this stream, unless his wife's watching or his son. And he doesn't talk like that the majority of the time. He'll talk like that depending on who's around him. But from a professional perspective, not a social perspective, when I hosted a radio show with him and he was my television analyst, he never talked like that. So you're now, to me, being the coach in front of a microphone with the media, I would like to see the Doug Christie that was on the radio and on TV with me, as opposed to the other Doug Christie with the street talk and everything. I'm not a fan of that.
Well, let me push back a little bit on that, because you know how passionate he is.
Yes.
Doug's like sitting down for 2 seconds during the game. If there's 30 seconds left and the Kings are down 30, he's still working the refs.
Yes.
He's talking to a player.
Yes.
I think it's part of the competitor in him. He doesn't see himself. He doesn't see himself as a coach. He doesn't see them as players. He sees them as a family. So if he is coming out of that environment, I do not expect Doug Christie to turn a key.
Again,
it's
not a big, it doesn't bother me that much, Ryan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm just answering the question that comes up. I don't want to make this into a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and last thing, as far as the Thunder, I know it's a Kings podcast, but the Thunder, I was just wondering, like, they're on a very, they're on a roll right now. I'm just wondering, do you guys think that they could beat that 73-9 record that the Warriors had? And I'll take my answer off the air. Thanks.
I do. Yes, I do. Especially with how many bad teams there are now in the West, and they play the West primarily. And last year they went 29-1 against the East. I really could. There's so many bad teams right now in the West. I mean, look at the 10th place team now is 4-9, for crying out loud.
Have you looked at the draft picks they have coming next year?
Yes. Yes.
They're not going to be able to keep everybody.
Right?
They're just not. I think Utah, is it Utah's that's protected? They have a protected one that would be high.
Yes.
But then there's another one that is not protected that will definitely be in the lottery.
They could be good for the next 15 years.
I know. It's scary.
Yeah. So
scary.
It's, everyone keeps wanting to talk about my relationship with Doug. It's not an issue at all for this job. Okay. I'm not anti-Doug in the sense that I have venom and I want him to get fired. I mean, I'm not like that. I actually would feel bad for him if he lost his job, because I know how much he loves the team and loves the community. And I know what makes him the happiest. Okay. Like, Doug lives in a bubble. Of any adult I've ever mentioned, and I really mean this, I've never been around an adult that lives in a bubble as small as Doug's. Doug's life is his wife, his son, and basketball. That's it. You couldn't have a conversation with Doug about anything going on in the world because he doesn't know. And I'm not sliding the guy. I'm just telling you the way it is. You couldn't talk to him about anything going on in the world. Nothing. He wouldn't be able to answer it. He wouldn't even be able to spend 2 seconds on it. That's not how he lives his life. He's a family man first and foremost, and he's a basketball junkie. And that's what makes him the happiest. That's his passion. And like, even when we used to golf all the time, right? We're not talking about like stuff going on in the world. We're talking about basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just telling you the way it is. I've been around him more than anyone that's on this stream. I know how he thinks. I know exactly what he's thinking right now. I know exactly what's going through his mind right now. I don't even have to guess. I already know. You know, he's saying in his own mind, he still thinks he's going to get this worked out. In his own mind, he's saying, man, I can't believe that I get my opportunity and they give me a team like this. I know that's part of his, because I know Doug, but he's always positive. He's not a glass half full guy. He's not a glass half empty guy. He's a glass half full guy. He always has been.
And I'm not trying to like paper your case or anything, but we've talked extensively on the radio show about this. And you've said like you would actually feel bad if Doug did not embrace this time as a head coach and do it his way. And, you know, so yeah,
I said this on the radio today for those that weren't on the show. If I'm Doug Christie, I don't give a damn what Scott Perry wants. I don't even care. It's not an issue for me. Okay, Scott Perry didn't hire me, and Doug Christie knows that. He's not going to tell you publicly, but I know that. He was hired by Vivek Ranadive. So, like, if Scott Perry is like, and again, if I don't know the answer to this, if he's bothered by the fact that his big free agent signing, Dennis Schroeder, didn't start tonight, well, who cares? I don't care what Scott Perry thinks. I'm the coach. That's my job. I'm going to play who I want. And if the general manager and I have a disagreement on that, too bad. He's not the coach. I am. And here's the other deal. This is Doug's only chance to be an NBA head coach. Do it your way. Don't do it somebody else's way. Again, he didn't hire you anyway, so don't worry about what he thinks. Now, I'm not saying that Doug and Scott Perry are at odds. That's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm just saying that if there's a difference of opinion on who should start, Doug Christie makes the decision, not Scott Perry.
Right.
I don't care what Scott Perry wants. If I'm Doug, I don't care at all. It's a non-issue for me. I'm like, no, I'm playing who I want. Thank you for your input. We'll talk to you after the game.
Oh, Joe, thanks for waiting. All right. Joe's not there. We'll see if Joe comes back. In the meantime, Casey, what's going on today?
Hey, I like to always start out my calls with Grant. You're the GOAT. We miss you much, man.
Thank you.
I think this team has a ton of potential, and I think it begins with rotations. I think we have a ton of potential with the second lineup. I'd love for DeMar to come off the bench, Dennis to come off the bench. Eubanks is extremely efficient. So
Yeah.
I just want your thoughts on those ideals, and I know Christie's trying to work it out, man, but I just think there's a ton of potential. I know it sucks right now, but I see a limelight here. So that's
Eubanks to me has been a big surprise. I didn't think he could play like this. I've been very impressed with Eubanks this year, probably more so than anybody else on the roster.
Right. He's efficient around the rim, man. Like he has cement blocks his feet on the perimeter, but like you rotate him around on defense, he's efficient.
And he plays above the rim too, Casey. That's something that not a lot of the big men do.
Yeah, he's good, man. I'm happy for him. He's gonna make a career. He's gonna get a good contract, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
all
FedEx 916, you're delusional with your Chris Webber comment. You're just trying to be an idiot, okay? It's just stupid comment. So, Casey, what do you think should happen right now? You think the team this team has a lot of potential. I disagree with you. I don't think they have a lot of potential. I think we all know what is coming up. This is going to be not a fire sale, but you're going to have a lot of changes to the roster this year. And so at some point in the near future, and it's closer to us than we think, there's going to be a big youth movement on this team, and we're just going to all have to accept the fact that that's the way the games are going to be played.
Yep, and I hope we get draft picks just like the Thunder did, man. That's all I hope for.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Casey.
I appreciate that. We really do. And before we get ready for the weekend ourselves, I want to tell you about Sunrise Landing and their website at CalusaSunrise.com, where you can get everything that you need to know. I was just on their website looking at the different phases, and they're really doing well out there. A lot of people are saying, yeah, I want to be at Sunrise Landing. And I get it after you look at these beautiful models and the fact that there's no homeowners and there's no Mellorews, and Calusa's really nice. I don't know if you've been there before. I have. I was like, wow. Again, it's across the street from the Calusa Golf and Country Club. Easy to get to. I-5, Highway 45, Highway 20. It's all there for you at CalusaSunrise.com, a Blazona development project. Just go and check it out on their website at CalusaSunrise.com. That's CalusaSunrise.com, and beautiful Sunrise Landing.
Love how open the concepts are there.
Awesome.
You get so uncomfortable when people call you the GOAT.
I don't like. I'm uncomfortable when people talk about me at all, because I don't really look at myself any different than anyone on this stream. The only difference between us, okay, is the fact that my living is done in front of a microphone and in many instances in front of a camera, but I'm just like anybody else. Like, I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I don't think like, oh, gee, you know, I'm an NBA announcer for 32 years and did hockey and was on the Jim Rome show. And like, it's like, I'm fortunate, I'm blessed, but I don't think I'm better than you just because like I've attained a status of a broadcaster that has succeeded. Like, but I'm lucky. I'm blessed, but I'm not better than anybody.
Yeah, but that's mutually exclusive from your work that you've done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if I were like that, I would have never given you the time of day when you approached me.
No, I 100%. But I'm saying, like, people respect your work, Napes.
Yeah, I listen, and I appreciate that, but I'm not comfortable talking about my achievements in the business unless it's a direct question. Like, I don't brag. Like, you know me.
Yeah.
How long have you known me? Do I ever go around bragging about what I've done? I don't.
Nope.
I'm not like that. I've never lived my life like that. If somebody asks me a direct question about my career, I'm happy to talk about it, but I'm not real comfortable in doing that.
I know, and that's why I brought it up. So
yeah, and I appreciate it.
All right, Joe, don't prove me wrong. Joe, what's up? No, Joe. All right. Final thoughts, partner?
Yeah, my final thoughts are, I saw a team tonight that I wouldn't mind going to watch play as a season ticket holder, because they gave me what I wanted to see on the homestand that I didn't get a chance to see. And this game was kind of reminiscent to the Denver game, really, when you were right there through three quarters, and then the other team just stepped on the gas and you missed shots and you missed free throws. And so, listen, it's a bottom line business. You either win or you lose, and they lost by 14 tonight. But if you were to play like this on the rest of the games on this road trip, I'm actually going to be okay with it. Okay. Like, give me the effort, give me the passion, give me the desire, give me the pride. And I understand you lost and you only scored 19 points in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't from lack of effort. It wasn't because of a lack of detail. Like, I took some positives out of tonight. Yes, in the end of the day, it's a loss, and I'm disappointed with that. But give this to me every night, and I'm going to be okay. Give it to me every night. Give me this type of effort, this type of pizzazz. Give me it. Give me it every night, and I'll be okay. We're making progress here.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of daylight. There's stuff, and very well said. There's stuff that can be tweaked. There's things that will improve, like free throw shooting. I liked what I saw for the most part. Sure, you want to win, but coming off of, let's begin walking before we run, coming off of what we saw the other night. And pretty good job. And good for Doug for making a change.
Yep, good for him.
Doug.
And I think he needs to do more. And now with the loss, Sacramento's 3-10, and they have the second worst record in the conference. The only one worse, New Orleans. Yep. I know. With that said, all right, post-game Sunday after the Spurs game. Have a great weekend, everybody. We really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. We appreciate the phone calls, and enjoy your weekend of watching football, basketball, whatever the case may be. Be sure and subscribe to the channel. We'd greatly appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up as well, a like, and we say thank you for that. Until next time, for Jerry Reynolds, for Ryno, I'm Napes. Good night. Bye-bye.